Hello, this is Grandma's Gone Gaming. I'm coming to you with the second part of the Villages and Villagers tutorial that we started, where we built all the little huts here. And I actually have moved in the one that was out too far, so now everything is where it should be, and everything, all of the houses are exactly centered on the well. I did not explain in the other tutorial, the first part of the tutorial, about the well, which I had meant to do. When you build your well, it needs to be at least a 2 by 2 space. I always make mine 3 by 3 because I like to have things centered. When you have 2 by 2, I'm sure you've seen in the natural villages, you have roads that go out. Some of them go off to this side, some of them go off to the other side, and it gets kind of, to me, it looks just kind of messy. I like to have an actual square to center on, so I make mine a 3 by 3. Now, the well itself needs to be 10 full layers deep. Now, you're probably only in the video going to see darkness in this part here. I'm going to go ahead and get a block of glowstone and put that into the bottom of the well so you can see what's happening here. What you have is, let me get to the center, and now you can see that this well all the way up and down is a 3 by 3 object, and you have each layer has an infinite water source on it, and to do that you have to use your water bucket. In survival you can do the same thing. In creative it's very easy. You just take one water bucket, you hit one corner here, hit another corner here, and as soon as you do that, the whole thing will fill in with water and become a still water, infinite water source. So in survival you would have to bring 3 buckets down with you because you have to do 1, 2, 3 corners. So once you do that, then in survival you would just swim up, hold on to your key and then just keep going up. And then you would fill up this layer and then you would swim up all the way to the top. In creative I can just stand here, I can fly in and out and just kind of put the water in all the way around. But either way, you need to make all 10 layers full of water so that the entire well is full of water. And that is what the game recognizes as that deep well that is made first to go into the geometric center of the village. So when you're crafting your own, you can make things come out any way you like, and you don't have to be as symmetrical as this. This is just done so that you can see the basics, the way that they're explained. I put this jack-o'-lantern in the middle here because I didn't want to throw any torches up on around here on the ground or on the ice. Now, the ice won't melt here because this is packed ice, and so this ice doesn't melt. I explained that to you with the snow on the other one, I think. Nothing melts except the snow itself out here. The snow blocks obviously don't melt with the torches either. But rather than throwing torches around on the top of the well, I just went with a jack-o'-lantern in the middle. And that was an interesting exercise because I had put snow blocks. I put some slabs in here, and then I put a snow block up here in a column, and then I went up because you have to have something underneath the jack-o'-lantern to plant it from the top. You can't just, it doesn't attach to the sides of anything. So I opened this up here and I took out the one snow block and I put the jack-o'-lantern in, and it just kept disappearing. And I thought, well, what in the heck? And what was happening was that it was reading that snow block with these arms out on it as making a snow golem, which all you have to do to make a snow golem is to do a block of snow up, and then 2 arms, or you have 3 blocks up and 2 arms out. Put the jack-o'-lantern on the top, or even just a pumpkin. It doesn't matter, jack-o'-lantern or pumpkin, either one. And you get a snow golem, start walking around. So I ended up with 4 snow golems before I realized what was going on. But then I did away with them. I wanted them walking all over the place. So then I put some wood blocks up there instead and finished out the well. Excuse me, my voice is kind of going away. Okay, now in the natural village wells, you'll find a block on the tops of the wells like this, a lip on it around all the way, and then the corner would also be that way. And then your villagers will get in there and they'll climb in, and because they want to get in the water, they get in, and the villagers will swim, and they'll sit here and bob around like this, and they're not going to drown, but they also can't get out. When you need to have a level water space here. So when if the zombies get in to the village and you have villagers that are stuck in the well, then the zombies will come after them, get in the well with them, um, and either kill them or zombify them. They would become zombie villagers. So either way, you're probably going to lose your villager because it will despawn in the daylight. Of course, this is shaded a little bit if you've left the lid on. Um, so you may have to kill the zombie and then maybe cure the zombie villager. Um, One way or the other, it's going to be a lot of effort unless you just take the lip off and just leave a flat surface like this. Now, the reason I have left the lid or awning over this well is because we are in the cold biome. It's the ice plains, and out there is a cold taiga, and all the rivers are frozen, and there's snow on the ground. So if we take this lid off, the water will freeze, just like it did in the river. When I got here, the river was not all frozen. But the longer I was here, the more blocks froze out from the sides of the river, and now it is all frozen all the way across the river. So your well will do the same thing. So as long as you have it covered, then you get standing water. Now, once the village gets recognized as a village, when we get villagers in it, I will also come in here and put some of this packed ice down in here and make a level for the villagers just to go in and enjoy their little well, because they like to go in and stand in it, and it becomes their pool, I guess. And then it'll be fine because the well will already have been recognized. For now, we need to have this open until we make sure that we get some villagers in here. So that is the central well, and uh, and then there is the airspace out here for the doors. We have the valid doors, 1, 2, 3, 4 air spaces above them on the outside, only 3 covered spaces on the inside. So we have 16 doors on each of these little houses, which means that there are 64 valid doors in this village, and that will give us enough to have at least 10 adult villagers. And because of the way babies are born, with a little bit of time delay before they grow up, then there will probably be more villagers than that. We may even be able to get 20 and have 2 iron golems in this village. Okay, so the taking the lip off the well, or not creating a lip on the well, is one way to protect your villagers from harm in your crafted village or in the natural village also. And what else we need is to have some sort of a perimeter built. Now you can just use the natural materials that are around. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and just use a fence because it's faster. And I'm going to use the spruce because I'm using spruce doors. I'm using the spruce slabs because that's what's around us in this biome. Both of these biomes that are here. So that is what I'll stick with. And what I'm going to do is just put in a completely square fence out here. I'm probably going to have to increase the land out here a little bit. I will without question. So I'm going to go ahead and get the part started that I want. I'm going to put it 3 spaces away from the sidewalks, and 1, 2, 3, and I'll put it there in the 4th space. So that's my line here. I'll go ahead and set the line out here on this side. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I guess I can do that. I don't want to do that. I want to come all the way out because I'm going to put farms in these corners. So I'll come all the way out to where it would be 4 from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and obviously I'm going to have to bring my land out to at least out to this line. So we'll do that. I'll just start filling this in, and which is real easy and creative. Obviously, come all the way over to here just to make it fill in with the natural land. And as soon as it begins to snow, it'll get covered up by snow again. So I'm not going to worry about that. Any open space like this will get covered with snow. And even under the snow, you can see that in these cold biomes there is grass. The grass is there. It's just underneath the snow layer. So these dirt blocks will also automatically begin to, like just like that one just did, will turn to grass in just very little time. That's going really quickly. I don't know why it would go more quickly out here than it seems to sometimes in a nice sunny biome, but a nice warm biome, but it does. So once we get all this in here, then this side at least we can get the fence around, and we'll have to do the same thing when we get around to the other side. Okay, we'll go ahead and continue out here to the same line. And now mostly when I do my own villages, and even when I protect villagers in the natural villages, I make my fence lines two layers high, because although zombies won't be able to get in through here, if you're in the village and doing anything, you're going to get shot at by the skeletons outside, because if they're on this same level, they can shoot at you. Now, I can fix that by going down a level here and taking out all this, but I don't really want to do that. So what I'm going to do here is make a double layer on the fence. And over here, even with the double layer, you still might get shot a couple times because there's that hill. But that's part of the natural surroundings. So I don't want to change the natural surroundings a whole lot. I just want to get set with our border here, our perimeter. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the line here. And we'll go all the way out to meet the other one. Oops. And now I need to put the dirt in here that is necessary on this side. So we'll do that. And probably, since it only needs to go out this far, what I'm going to do is going to blend it in a little bit here by increasing this out here. I'm going to go to here and make it look like this little jagged edge over here instead of just a straight corner like we did on the other side, because the other side pretty much had straight lines anyway. But this side here just needs to be made to look a little more natural. So I'll do that. Oops, even though we don't need this many blocks to be added. Dirt is easy to come by. Even in Survivor, you can go mine it from just about anywhere and add it in. And now that we have the snow coming, all these bare blocks will get filled up with snow and look just like the rest of it did when you first came in here, pretty quickly. Now the snow blocks that I have in my inventory are from Creative, and I could fill in a block here by using that, just like this, but I don't need to because the snow will come down, but I can. Now you won't find those, you won't be able to do that anyway other than in Creative. And what you can do with that is also you can build up to where you even have a solid block of snow, and then once you get over to the top of that, it begins another solid block. And when you get rid of it, you get rid of the whole thing like that. So in Creative you can do that, although in Survival, I would have to use a shovel and pick up these snow blocks and make them, that would be snowballs, and then I would have to form the snowballs into 2 by 2 squares, spheres, cubes, there we go, to make the actual snow blocks that I'm using to build with. So that's just a little perk of using Creative. If you want to make a special map, you could make your snow to pile up in the corners as if it were had been snowing more and the wind had blown a little bit, so you have some drifted snow in there. So you see that in a lot of the special maps that are made, and you can be an artist with it and do whatever you want to do. It's your world. As is, this one is our world, which is one reason why I'm going ahead and do it in Creative. I just didn't feel like going out and spending the time gathering everything. 2, 3, and then just teaching you how to do something. The point is, you already know how to gather if you've played Minecraft at all. You know what you need to get to make fences, to make slabs. You got to cut down the trees, and you got to have a crafting table, and you got to make your planks, and then make your slabs, make your fences, make your gates, all that kind of stuff. You already know all that. And if you don't, then that's for another tutorial. What we're doing here is learning about what constitutes a village, And even though I wanted to show you the building of it, I don't think you need to know. I need to have to watch while I mine and get all the supplies for it. We'll just do it in creative. Um, it's just as easy to build really in survival as it is in creative. It just takes a little bit longer for the gathering. So now we have this whole fenced perimeter, and I think what I'll do is I'll put I'm not going to bother putting up the other layer here while we're in the tutorial. I can add it later on, but I'm going to go ahead and put some gates in it, and because I'll need access from several different points, I'm going to go ahead and put the gates about maybe halfway down. Let's see, when I put lights on it, they'll be here and then at 4, so I don't want to put the gates there. So I'm going to maybe put the gates about the 6th, I think the 6th fence in. And you always should place not only your gates but your doors from the outside, because there are some vulnerabilities that can cause your mobs to be able to see through them otherwise. So you should always do that, and your safety of yourself and your villagers can be contingent on that in some cases. I'm going to go ahead and throw in another line of dirt here at least, just so there's something to step on before you before you get up to the gate. Makes it a little easier to get in when you're running from something that you've been hunting and it's following you, like creepers or zombies or whatever. If you've just about died and you're just trying to get into a safe place, you don't want to have to try to stand there and open the gate and then jump up. You just want to be able to get to the gate and get in. So I'm going to put this one in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th place. Again on this side, and we'll do that on each of the 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put it here. Whoops, got to get out in front of it. Same on this side. And you could put one in the middle too. It kind of depends on 4, 5, 6, and how I think things are going. After a while, I may do that. I'll put a few more blocks out here on this side also, and just bring that out. Yeah, I can fill that in, but that's okay. I'm not going to do that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a gate. And one more gate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does that take us all the way around, or is it not? Yeah, no, this side too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here, and then the last gate coming up. And then I'll explain to you about the lighting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in this case, the lighting can get a little complicated because we don't really want to melt the snow. I'm going to go back to daytime, time set 0, and it'll be the first of the first 0 day, and we're going to clear the weather so we can see things a little bit better. Although the snow is awfully pretty, now we'll have a nice sunny day for a little while. The weather is going to do what it's going to do, and it's going to come back that way. It's going to insist, but for now we have some clear weather. So what happens out here is I'm going to put the farms in here, and that is another necessity for the villagers since 1.8.1, 1.8 actually, because the villagers need to be fed. Even if you have everything lit up completely, like we'll end up doing here, after I get another layer on the fences, I'll go every 4 spaces on the fence and put torches on it. From the 2 spaces up there, it won't melt the snow inside because it's going up. It's not hanging over like it is here. Inside here, we're going to have to probably have a little bit more light. So the first thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and plot the farms, because even if you have it all lit up, as I started to say, the villagers, if they don't have food, will eventually, if you just ignore them, not like in before 1.8, they will start to pass away on you. So you need to make sure that your villagers are fed, and sometimes you don't get a farmer villager at least right away, and They are the ones that feed the other villagers. If there is a farmer, you don't need to worry about it. The farmers will, and if you have a farm, the farmers will take care of it. They will garden and they will harvest and they will feed the other villagers. If you don't have a farmer, your villagers will eventually die and you won't know what happened to them because it's not something that we had to deal with before. Okay, so I'm going to go out here so that the corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, right here. This will be the corner of the farm, and then we'll go out 2 spaces away from there also and set the other corner of the farm out here. Just because we're going to go ahead and make borders on the farm like they do in the natural villages. You don't need to. You can just do your farm without a border, but just for the aesthetics of it, and since we're already symmetrical and everything looks like everything else, we're going to go ahead and do a whole. And I'm not going to break this up, and I'm not going to use all of the water that they use in the natural villages. You don't need to do that. Oops, I went one too many. So go ahead and put that in there, and because snow isn't coming, go ahead and wait. Did I go too many? No, I didn't go enough. I didn't go far enough out here. Oh wait, I went to the corner of the house. Here, corner of the house. Okay, yeah, another one too many. Okay, there we go. Now I'll finish explaining about the water. You only need to put in 1 block of water for every 4 blocks of water in any direction. That will hydrate an entire garden. So in this case we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We only have 5 all the way across. So a central block will do it. And I'm going to make the space right here. I'm going to just dump some water in there. So there's the water. Now if we don't cover that with something, it will freeze because again this is the cold biome. So what I'll cover it with is a spruce slab. And that's in 2. I gotta have something to connect to, so I'll put that one and then take it out. What happens there is this all of the farmland that I put in here, and I'm going to need a hoe, and I don't have one, so I'm going to go get one. I'll just get a stone hoe and put that in there. Actually, I'll leave that there and put that there. I'm going to go ahead and hoe the ground, and in my resource pack, which is Sortex Fanver, you can't hoe through the snow, you gotta have the dirt. You'll see what happens when the ground gets hydrated, and it will prove to you right away that even just 1 block like that will actually go out to all the corners. Oops. We'll go to the corners and we'll hydrate all the land in your garden. As you can see, there is the corner out, and that's only it would actually go out clear out to here and hydrate it. But since this is just a small, that's already hoed, a small patch of land, and that's all I want to use for the gardens is just a small patch, then 1 block of water is more than plenty for this garden. And it's actually working on the hydrating. If it weren't, you would see these things turning into dry dirt again right away. What I did here was to add the second layer of fences on, and I did add a middle gate so that I can come in from just about anywhere from out here where I'll be having to go out to try to find zombie villagers. So I can get in at any point here just about and then inside at the little farm areas in the corners, in order to get enough light toward the center where the water block is, which on top of a slab you don't get a light because nothing's going to spawn here. It doesn't tell you what the light level is. But right next to it now is 10. When I didn't have these extra light poles in here, it was at 7 in the middle. So now it is all lit up out here and everywhere, even at night. It is out here in the corners by the fences. It is 12. And as you get in here, you do pass through an area that is only light level of 8, but that's perfectly fine. It doesn't go down to 7 anywhere in here, so as long as it doesn't go down that far, then it is perfectly fine. Nothing will spawn in here. We're at 8 to 12, even in the middle of the night, all the way out. All the way in here, all the way in here. And inside the little apartments, with the door shut, you have in the corner here you have 9, and everywhere else is above 9. So we're good to go on the lighting, even underneath here because of the jack-o'-lantern up here we have a light level of 10, and it'll be higher than that right directly underneath there. So that's what I've done to make sure that all of the safety is completed before I go out and start hunting for zombie villagers. Now while I'm gone, now between that and between what I'm saying here and the next video, which will focus on getting the villagers, I'm going to go out and collect grass seed and come in and plant those farms. And I'll go ahead and kill skeletons and get bone meal so that I can put on there and grow them really fast. Because I would like the farms to be ready to feed the villagers when they come in. And as I get more villagers, I'll be telling you more and more about that and the slots that they have and how much they can carry around with them. And then what happens when they begin to feed themselves. And when you trade with them. Okay, so that is now the ending of the second part of the tutorial rather than what I had originally planned to end with. So I'll see you in the third part. Thank you.